Soccer Nation, welcome to Soccer Queen USA. Spain are about to face a team that has absolutely no business being on the same pitch as them. And yet, Cape Verde might just be the most dangerous opponent La Roja could have drawn. Think about that for a second. A nation of 500,000 people, an island archipelago in the Atlantic Ocean. A squad built mostly from players scattered across mid-table European clubs. And they are stepping into this fixture with zero fear, zero respect for reputation, and everything to prove. Spain, on the other hand, arrive as one of the most technically gifted sides on the planet. European champions, generational talent in every position, a system so refined it almost runs itself. So why does this feel like a trap? Because history has shown us, time and time again, the team with nothing to lose is always the most dangerous one in the room. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is where we break soccer down the right way. No hype, no bias, just real analysis with real opinions. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening here. Spain come into this fixture riding an extraordinary wave of momentum. Under Luis de la Fuente, they've transformed from a side that felt stale and predictable into something genuinely exciting again. Euro 2024 proved that. They didn't just win the tournament, they dominated it. Yamal burst onto the world stage. Nico Williams terrorized every fullback in Europe. Morata led the line with hunger. This Spain squad has depth, quality, and most importantly, belief. But Cape Verde? Don't sleep on them, not even for a second. Pedro Brito's side have been quietly building something special in African soccer. Their AFCON performances have turned heads. They press aggressively, they transition at lightning speed, and they are completely unbothered by big names. These are players who have fought for every cap, every contract, every opportunity. That mentality doesn't disappear just because Spain show up in their famous red. Cape Verde have genuine weapons, too. Diego Sosa leads the attack with physical presence and clinical finishing. Ryan Mendes brings experience and creativity on the wing. And defensively, they are organized, compact, and brutally hard to break down when they sit in their shape. This isn't a foregone conclusion. It absolutely isn't. And here's why this match matters right now. Both sides are in situations where momentum is everything. Spain want to send a statement heading into the next phase of their campaign. Cape Verde want to announce themselves on a bigger stage and prove that African soccer deserves more respect globally. Today, I'm going to cover three things. First, Spain's tactical setup and whether their system has any vulnerabilities Cape Verde can exploit. Second, Cape Verde's key players and how they'll set up to hurt Spain. Third, the prediction, plus my hot take that I guarantee most people aren't saying out loud. Let's get into it. Point 1. Spain's tactical setup and where they are vulnerable. Let's start with Spain, because yes, they are brilliant. Yes, they have generational talent. But here's the thing most people miss. Spain are not invincible, and their system, as beautiful as it is, carries specific vulnerabilities that a smart, organized side can absolutely exploit. De la Fuente sets Spain up in a 4-3-3 that shifts into a 4-2-3-1 in possession. It's fluid, it's technical, and it's designed to suffocate opponents with positional play. They recycle the ball patiently, they pull teams out of shape, and then they knife through the gaps with runners like Yamal and Nico Williams on the flanks. When it works, and it usually does, it's one of the most beautiful systems in world soccer right now. But here's the crack in the wall. Spain's fullbacks push incredibly high. Carvajal and Cucurella, or whoever starts in those positions, they bomb forward constantly. That's by design. It creates overloads wide. It gives the wingers inside channels to attack. Smart soccer. But it also means there is space, real, genuine space, in behind those fullbacks when Spain lose possession. Cape Verde live for that space. Their transition game is devastating. The moment they win the ball, they go. Direct, vertical, fast. And if Spain's midfield isn't sharp enough in those first 2 or 3 seconds after losing possession, Cape Verde will find runners in behind before the defensive line can recover. We saw Atletico Madrid exploit similar transitions against Spain's club sides. We've seen it in international soccer, too. High defensive lines get punished by pace. Simple as that. Now, here's where I challenge the mainstream opinion. Most pundits will tell you Spain's possession game eliminates transition risk because they simply never give the ball away. That's lazy analysis. Every team gives the ball away. Spain gave it away multiple times, even in their best Euro 2024 performances. The question isn't whether it happens. The question is what happens next. And against Cape Verde's front three, Spain's fullbacks being caught high is a genuine, legitimate danger. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Spain are favorites, absolutely. But they are not untouchable, and De La Fuente knows it. Expect him to drill his side on defensive transition all week in training. Because one moment of sloppiness against Cape Verde's attackers could completely change the narrative of this match. Point 2. Cape Verde's key players and how they plan to hurt Spain. Right, now let's talk about Cape Verde. Because this is where it gets really interesting. Pedro Brito is not a naive manager. He is not going to set up with 10 men behind the ball and hope for a miracle. That's not Cape Verde's identity anymore. They've evolved, they've grown, and they come into this fixture with a tactical plan that is designed specifically to cause Spain problems. Expect a 4-4-2 or 4-5-1 defensive shape that transitions immediately into a 4-2-4 when they win the ball. Compact, disciplined, but with genuine attacking intent the moment possession changes hands. And the key to everything? Diego Sousa. This man is criminally underrated in global soccer conversations. Powerful, clever, and relentless in his pressing. He won't just lead the line. He'll be Spain's center back's worst nightmare for 90 minutes. He'll compete aerially, he'll hold the ball up under pressure, and he'll constantly look to bring those wide runners into play. Sousa is the reference point around which Cape Verde's entire attack is built. Then you have Ryan Mendes. Experience, intelligence, and the ability to pick a pass in tight spaces. He'll be the connector between midfield and attack. The player who makes Cape Verde tick in the final third. And here's the tactical master plan. Cape Verde will let Spain have the ball in their own half, willingly. They will sit in 2 compact banks of 4 and force Spain wide. They'll make crossing the answer. And if you've watched Spain this cycle, you know that crossing is not their strongest weapon. They want combinations, 1-2s, cutbacks in tight spaces. Take that away, and Spain can sometimes look slightly disjointed. Cape Verde aren't just hoping Spain have a bad day. They are engineering a bad day. That's the difference between a team with a plan and a team just showing up. And every single Cape Verde player on that pitch will be fighting like their life depends on it. That mentality is worth at least a goal. Point 3. The battle in midfield and who controls the game. Everything in this match, everything, comes down to midfield control. If Spain win the midfield battle, it's a comfortable night. They dictate tempo, they suffocate Cape Verde, and their quality in the final third does the rest. Simple, clinical, professional. But if Cape Verde can disrupt Spain's midfield rhythm, this match becomes a completely different animal. Spain's midfield is their engine room. Pedri, Fabian Ruiz, Rodri, when all 3 are available and firing, they are arguably the best midfield unit in world soccer right now. The combination of Rodri's defensive intelligence, Pedri's creativity under pressure, and Fabian's ability to drive forward with the ball is genuinely frightening. They control games, they set the tempo, they make everything else function. Here's the problem, though. Cape Verde will not sit back and let that midfield operate freely. Their central midfielders will press aggressively. They'll foul if they have to. They'll disrupt the rhythm deliberately. This is professional, calculated chaos. It's what smaller nations do to stay in games against elite sides. Break the flow. Make it ugly. Make it physical. And here's what nobody is talking about. Rodri is not the same Rodri we saw 12 months ago. Coming back from a serious knee injury, there will naturally be moments where his sharpness, his split-second decision-making, his ability to cover ground quickly, all of that is being tested at the highest level again. Cape Verde's pressing triggers will specifically target him, force him into quick decisions, make him uncomfortable. If Rodri struggles, even slightly, Spain's entire defensive structure becomes shakier. He is the foundation everything is built on. Remove the foundation and the building wobbles. Pedri needs to be the solution here. His ability to find pockets of space between the lines, to receive under pressure and play quickly, will be absolutely crucial. If Pedri has a big game, Spain have more than enough to win comfortably. If Cape Verde's midfield press gets to him early and knocks his confidence, watch out. The midfield battle is the match within the match, and it is far more competitive than people are giving Cape Verde credit for. The hot take. All right, here it is, my bold verdict, the one most people won't say out loud. Spain will win this match. I'm not backing Cape Verde to cause a full upset. Let's be honest about the quality gap. It exists and it's significant. But here's my hot take. Cape Verde will score in this match, and Spain will not keep a clean sheet. Everyone is predicting a comfortable Spain cruise. 3 or 4-0. La Roja putting on a show. Cape Verde barely touching the ball. That narrative is completely wrong and dangerously disrespectful to what Cape Verde bring to this fixture. Spain's defensive line will be high. Cape Verde's transitions will be sharp. Diego Sosa will get at least one genuine chance inside the penalty area. And the energy, the desperation, the sheer desire that Cape Verde play with, that produces goals. It always does. I'm going even further. If Spain concede first in this match, if Cape Verde get an early goal and the crowd gets behind them, Spain will panic. We've seen it before with technically gifted sides. When the script flips, when it gets emotional and chaotic, the beautiful soccer disappears and mistakes happen. Spain are too good to lose this. Their individual quality is the difference. But this will not be comfortable. This will not be a walkover. And anyone who tells you Cape Verde have no chance of scoring hasn't watched them properly. My prediction? Spain 2-1 Cape Verde. A nervy, tense, genuinely competitive match that Spain edge through their individual brilliance rather than tactical dominance. Mark those words. Stay with me, because in the final part, I'm bringing everything together, delivering my ultimate verdict, and asking you one question that I genuinely want your opinion on. Claude responded, bringing it all together. So let's recap everything we've covered today. Spain's high defensive line and aggressive fullback positioning creates genuine transition vulnerability that Cape Verde's fast, direct attack is perfectly built to exploit. Cape Verde's tactical plan is not naive hope. It's a calculated, organized system designed specifically to disrupt Spain's rhythm and engineer chaos in a match Spain expect to control. And the midfield battle, the real match within the match, is far more competitive than the mainstream narrative suggests, with Rodri's sharpness under scrutiny and Cape Verde's press threatening to destabilize Spain's entire defensive foundation. 3 points, all connected, all pointing to the same conclusion. This is not a foregone conclusion. And here's my final verdict. Bolder than before, and I'm standing on it completely. Spain win, but they bleed for it. This is not Euro 2024 Spain dismantling helpless opposition with a smile on their face. This is Spain being pushed, being tested, being made deeply uncomfortable by a Cape Verde side that has genuine quality, genuine tactical intelligence, and an absolute burning desire to write their own history on a big stage. De La Fuente will be relieved at full time, not celebrating wildly, relieved, because he will know, and his players will know, that Cape Verde pushed them to places they didn't want to go. Spain 2-1 Cape Verde. Diego Sousa gets his goal. One moment of Yamal or Nico Williams' individual brilliance is what separates these two sides in the end. Not tactics, not systems. Pure, raw, unfair individual quality. That's the truth of elite soccer sometimes. The better team wins. But the brave team makes them earn every single point. Cape Verde should walk off that pitch with their heads held sky high. Because if they execute their game plan, if they press with intensity, transition with pace, and defend with organization, they will have given Spain the toughest match they've had in recent memory. Remember that prediction. Spain 2-1, Cape Verde score. It won't be pretty, and I'll be back to review exactly how it played out. Now here's my question for you. Diego Sousa versus Pedri. Who has the bigger impact on this match? The physical, relentless Cape Verde striker who could terrorize Spain's defense all night? Or the creative genius who controls Spain's tempo and makes everything click? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know what you think before kickoff. And listen, if you made it this far, you already know this channel gives you soccer analysis that goes deeper than anywhere else. No filler, no lazy takes, just real soccer conversations. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now. Because we do this for every big match, every big moment, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the other side of this match.